Good afternoon. Good day, good afternoon, good Dutch Grand Prix. Welcome back. It's been a while. A long summer break, but here we are. I'm very sorry that there was no final thoughts video, but I literally could not. There was so many things, and I still don't know what to do with my team, so. We are so back. Mungo, welcome. Let me tweet out that we're live. I forgot to do that. I'm a bit rusty. But we're so back. Deadline stream is live. We have so many things to discuss today because, I mean, everything has changed. I need to look at the FP3 results again. I would assume that we're getting FP3 sims, but maybe it's possible we don't get it. If anyone has seen any information on it, please let me know. Rye, welcome back on Twitch. JC, welcome back. It's okay. I felt really bad this week. It's almost like I've been poisoned. I don't know why. I just feel like my entire body has just felt ill this whole week, but I feel better today, so that's good at least. Alright, let's see who's here. Roy says, I hope you had an amazing summer break. I had a pretty good summer break. Add my team subs in Discord, but didn't know there was a timeout. Oh, that's unfortunate. I mean, there is a like a 2-hour timer so people don't spam that chat. Might be the lack of F1. It might be the lack of F1. Alright, over on YouTube side. Is it worth considering autopilots? I have considered it. We're going to discuss that a bit later. Nick, greetings. Blengy, welcome. Namso, long time no see. Carlos, welcome back, welcome back. I will say, new for the deadline stream today is that over on the Twitch side, we are now monetized. So if you have Amazon Prime, the best direct way to now support the channel is to pop over on Twitch and use it to sub there on Twitch. It's completely free if you have Amazon Prime. It's literally money that could go to a streamer that just goes to waste if you don't use your Prime subscription. So if you have Amazon Prime, make sure to pop it over on Twitch. How's FPL going? FPL is going okay. It's not bad, but it's not good either. I'd say it's slightly below average, slightly below what I wanted. Happy you're back in good health? Yeah, I definitely feel better today. Thank you, Jennifer. All right, let's see. On my team, we have a bunch of things to discuss regarding my team, and I'm assuming everyone is in the same position. Are we keeping Ferrari? Are we going Aston Martin? Are we going triple McLaren? Are we bringing in cheap assets? Are you going 4A? There's so many different lines you can take now. I'm very jealous of all of you that have your wildcard remaining, because I think if I had my wildcard remaining, I think I would just go for triple McLaren, triple Aston, and then be ready to wildcard, you know, in the future. Let me hold up on Twitch for subs. Thank you so much. That's so very, very, very appreciated. So yeah, there's a lot of things you could do with the team. I think the easiest thing again is just to get some cheap assets in, prepare for the 4A for my team personally. But it is scary. I do have a very, very out there idea that I'm going to share with you. Which, credit to, I can't remember who did it actually, but I got the idea from someone from the YouTube comments actually on my team selection video. So, what I was thinking, let me know if this is crazy, okay? So, because we're not sure how good Ferrari are, I have been considering getting Mercedes. And then imagine I do what I suggested in my team selection video, where I get Bortoleto and Lawson. That leaves me with 14.4 million in the bank, which means that I could get George Russell. This would obviously cost 10 points. It would be a minus 10 to do this. But I could also keep Stroll and do this as a final fix. Is that crazy? Is it Aston legit instead of Ferrari? I mean, a lot of people are considering it. Demon Hunter, thank you so much for the Prime over on Twitch. Greatly appreciated. I'm going to add more emotes and stuff like that, both over on the YouTube side and the Twitch streaming side in the coming weeks. Greatly appreciated. So, this is an option, but the problem with my team is that, like, I'm imagining Ferrari wants to be good in Monza, so I want to be able to have Ferrari in Monza. Do you think Sainz outscores Bortoleto and Lawson? It depends. It's hard to say. Was Lance's car okay during FP3? I think it was, yeah. I didn't actually pay that much attention to it. Let's see. Yeah, it's fine. Don't forget to join the exclusive league for today. Yeah, so we don't know how good Ferrari looks. Mercedes looks decent. I mean, McLaren are just so good that, like, triple McLaren might honestly be the way. Lannister, welcome. 3XL McLaren with 2X Norris seems fair with the Aston in the mix. Yeah, so the thing if we consider the, like, George Russell 4A teams with McLaren Ferrari that we've discussed, it's like, do you want George Russell's 25-pointer when you can have Alonso and Stroll's 15-pointer each? I don't know. Do you think Russell gets a grid penalty, and if so, how much grid drops? I don't think so. Think about the weather. Okay, let's actually discuss the weather. That's the thing. There's so many things to discuss. I literally cannot keep my mind focused on one thing. Does that make sense? Because there's so many different variables today, both for this race, but also future races, and, like, how to work the transfers to get to the team you want. So, let's bring the weather over here. So, it's looking like it's not gonna rain for the quali. And then tomorrow, it's looking like it might rain a little bit around race start, and then it's gonna clear up. So I don't actually think it's going to rain during the race. It just might not be dry when they start it. Fraser, welcome. So, in terms of the weather, I don't actually think it's going to rain that much. At least not according to this. But I've been updating the weather constantly throughout the week, and it's changed literally every day, it feels like. Can you 130 budget team? Lots of options. 130 budget is actually crazy. Infinite options with that budget. It's Dutch weather is completely unreliable. That's what I mean. Like, we don't know. Must be the water. So I'm actually honestly I've never been this lost on what to do with my team. So I think I need to just, calm myself and think rationally and, like, just go through all the options. So that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna start with MS Paint and just start getting options down, okay? So, first option, by far the most passive, is to just get Bortoleto and Lawson and rock this. 10 million in the bank, save a transfer for Monza, not do too much. This is the simple solution. Literally just save the budget. I have 3 transfers in Monza. I could do literally whatever I want then. If I don't trust Ferrari, which I'm not so sure I do, but I mean, Williams also look good. We can discuss that. We need to discuss that as well. Stay focused, okay. Lawson here could also be just Sainz, by the way. This is not exclusively Lawson. It could also be Sainz. Yeah, I don't know about Ferrari as well. That's what we're... So the second option is to actually get rid of Ferrari. And if we're getting rid of Ferrari, there are two options in my eyes. It's only either Mercedes or Aston Martin. If it's Aston Martin, then we're definitely getting Lando. Like, there's no way I'm not doing Aston Martin and not getting triple. I think this sort of structure, if you have your wild card, I would be very, very tempted to just move to this now, because then it's super easy to move out of this to a 4A lineup in Monza. The problem is, if I do this, I'm stuck with this. Final fix should allow constructor swap. Yeah, actually, honestly, I agree with that also. I don't see why I shouldn't allow that. Yet again, having a high budget is pointless. I've had about 5 million in the bank every race for the last few years, and this week's going to be the same probably. Yeah, it's just Ferrari. If Ferrari looked better, the extra budget would be more valuable, I suppose. So this sort of team, I think, could be really strong. But for me and my team, like, if I do this, and this would be Bortoletto, how do I get out of this with 2 free transfers? Because I could get to this in 3 free transfers. It's just, how do I get out of this in Monza if I then want to go back to... I mean, I'm definitely not getting 4A in Monza, that's for sure. The option then is just switch Norris and Aston Martin back to, like, Ferrari plus anything, right? Something like this. But I mean, realistically, I'm probably doing something like this instead then. Yeah, Piastri, Russell, Merc teams. Okay, so we have the Aston Martin option there. The third option is to do this. But then I need to take a -4. Because I need to sell Stroll as well if I want to get Russell today. Like, because I have to take a -10. Or I have to use final fix on Russell. Which is, at that point, it's like, why am I even doing that? So I suppose I could do... Say I do this. Can I afford Russell to... yeah, I can do this then on a final fix. Man, you want to triple McLaren, triple Aston, but can't afford it. That's unfortunate. Williams over Aston Martin? I think I would go for Aston Martin. If I were to go for a cheap constructor, I think I would go for Aston Martin. The Williams are 4 million more expensive. That seems a bit crazy. You're like 0.2 short? Yeah, that sucks. I mean, you could rock like Sainz instead of Stroll. Because like if you're rocking Aston Martin constructor, you don't have to go triple Aston Martin just because you do that. So you could always just downgrade. I would always run Alonso, but you could just not run with Stroll and then rock with a Sainz or a Liam Lawson instead. And that's also like, it's basically the same team. JC on Twitch says, "Ooh, I can do triple McLaren, triple Aston Martin. I also have a wild card." Yeah, that's the thing. If I had my wild card remaining, I think I would go for the triple McLaren, triple Aston, because wildcarding out of that seems super powerful. It's just like, if I go for that, I'm super stuck. And like, going for this doesn't seem that strong. Maybe Mercedes is just better than Ferrari. How were the conditions actually during FP3? It was, let me see. I mean, there were so many incidents yesterday that like can't really. The data is a bit skewed from FP1 and FP2. If anyone knows if we're getting FP3 sims on F1 Fantasy Tools, please let me know, because I haven't seen anything about it yet, and it's difficult to keep track of everything while being live. Damn stubborn great by the end. Got lap record for F3 here. We are in 20-30 minutes. Thank you, Reinhardt. Thank you. Russell looks good. I agree. Russell does look good. So okay. So what I could do is I could go for this. I mean, this again. Science here could be Lawson. It doesn't matter. With 3 free transfers and then final fix Stroll to Russell. Right, they're just confirmed. Sick. We're definitely waiting for that then. I think for me personally, if I'm switching out of Ferrari, I'm more likely to go the Mercedes route, because then at least maybe I can do a 4A lineup in Monza. The problem then is just I'm not going to be able to get back to Ferrari if Ferrari look good in Monza without taking hits. Sims favor Ferrari over Mercedes? Currently, yeah, but we'll see about that after FP3 Sims. Triple Aston, but I have to do Lawson and Bortoletto. I would also need to wildcard. I wouldn't wildcard into it. I think like if you can get to it with free transfers, it's good to have your wildcard to wildcard out of it, if that makes sense. Because I don't think, I mean, maybe triple McLaren, like maybe McLaren are just that dominant, huh? I mean, to be fair, I'm also kind of blind on Mercedes because Russell looks so good, whereas like Kimi Antonelli, is he really gonna perform in the rain? I mean, he did perform in, you know, he has performed. Demon Hunter, let's see. Big Papa Bob LOL, subscribe with Prime on Twitch. Thank you so much, man. I cannot speak. I appreciate it a lot. I appreciate it a lot. If you, by the way, are over on YouTube and you have Amazon Prime, consider just popping over on Twitch and subscribing there with Amazon Prime. It's completely free if you have it, and it's by far the best way to directly support the channel, since I have monetization active on Twitch now for the first time, so that's pretty exciting. What do we think about Kimi Antonelli? Like, is Kimi going to perform at all? Like, he was 17th in FP3. It is really a choice between Antonelli, Hamilton, and Stroll. When we're picking constructor, it kind of is. Big no. Yeah, I'm scared about Kimi Antonelli. That's why, like, at that point, I might just keep. I might as well keep Ferrari. Considering it's not looking like it's going to rain, I think I might stick with Lawson. Well, I'm not talking about Kimi Antonelli as a driver. I'm talking more like as with Mercedes constructor. Kim is not reliable, no. Calandori on Twitch says the only reason I'm not instantly going with triple McLaren, triple Aston with Bortoletto because of the difficulty getting out of it. I'm not going to be viable anyway from Monza. I think it's more like having the option in Monza. You know what I mean? It could also be viable in Monza. I mean, the thing we kind of need to come to terms with is like, is ignoring Aston Martin entirely, like, is the triple McLaren just the way to go? Because they're going to 1-2 every race from now until the end of the season. It's not really looking like... And also Norris looks good here. I could get to this with 3 transfers. It's just then I'm stuck with this strategy. So the main reason I'm not instantly going with it is that I'm stuck with it. What makes it viable is the McLaren dominance. It's not only that though, Carlos, because it's the combination, right? So I think this looks really good because Aston is also pushing for positions. If Hamilton is where Hamilton should be, if Antonelli is where Antonelli should be, if Red Bull is where Red Bull should be, I don't think this is viable over a 4A lineup. The problem is that when Alonso and Stroll and Albon and Sainz are getting 15 pointers, you don't really care about Russell's 25 pointer. So it's the combination of that. So maybe this is just the way to go, and then we can juggle Aston Martin and Williams until the end of the season. That's the thing. Like McLaren are so dominant here. So that's what if I had wildcard, honestly, if I had wildcard, no question, I would just go triple McLaren, triple Aston this week. Actually, straight. I wouldn't even consider anything else, because if I had the wildcard, I know that if then Aston Martin doesn't look good for Monza, I can super easily get out of that build into a 4A lineup with Piastri, Russell, McLaren, Mercedes, or Piastri, Russell, McLaren, Ferrari. If I downgrade some cheap assets, it's just that if I go for this build now, I'm almost definitively, relatively, somewhat stuck with it. That made no sense, but that's what I'm trying to say. Isn't there rain this weekend? It's rain this weekend, but it looks like it's going to be dry over the course of the actual race and qualifying. So, I mean, you can pause and look. I've looked at multiple different weather sites, and it seems like the same. It's going to rain during the day, but then during the actual race, it's not going to rain. What's the penalty points wise to get out of it? -20 or -10? Okay, let's consider the triple teams again. Okay, I would do 3 transfers to get this in. And this would probably just be Bortoletto. It could be Sainz as well, but I think Bortoletto's too good budget-wise to ignore. I do think Sainz is a really good option this week, but Sainz over Lawson, I think Sainz and Lawson are kind of equal. Do we trust Stroll though? I don't know. That's a very difficult thing to say. Yeah, you don't 3x today. You 3x in the sprint weekend with triple McLaren. So I do this with all 3 of my transfers. That leaves 2 free transfers only for Monza. And if then Aston don't look good, I'm stuck with Stroll and Alonso, right? Because like I could see a scenario where we get to Monza, Ferrari look good again, because Ferrari like to just turn up at Monza for, just for the Tifosi. They specifically build the upgrades for Monza and Monaco. I could see a world where I would want Ferrari back, and then I would have to sell Norris. And there's also a world where I don't want Stroll and Alonso because they've underperformed or whatever, and then I'm just stuck with them or taking hits. Because like obviously I can at any point I could just switch Lando and Aston Martin to this with 10 million in the bank. Like that's not the issue. The issue is then that I'm stuck with other drivers that I might not necessarily want. And a switch to something like this. Would then be a -10. So I suppose I could -10 it. Would you not just go for Leclerc rather than a Ferrari for Monza? That's actually a really good point. I hadn't really considered that, but you might be right. It might be like a Lando plus Leclerc gamble. I mean, I'm still stuck with Aston Martin then, or perhaps Williams, for a transfer. It's just very. I really like the triple McLaren, triple Aston build. I'm just scared for future. I mean, it could be that this is the move that wins me the season. With triple Aston, triple McLaren, autopilot is on, or even 3x. No, I wouldn't use either. I like 3x is only good in sprint weekends. Like I'm gonna want for a sprint weekend, I'm gonna want Lando Norris, Oscar Piastri, and McLaren. Like that's just 18 that I'm going to have for a sprint weekend this year. I mean, if it's only -10, we've done much worse. The potential points gain this week should outweigh that. I guess you're right. When you're looking at team submissions, top of the hour, so in 35 minutes. I am getting persuaded here. I don't know if Calador is trying to fucking bait me. I have wildcard. I'm biting the bullet. Yeah, if you have wildcard, you build. If you have wildcard, you just build this team, and I mean, you're actually super good. I mean, this is the only time throughout the entire season that I'm upset that I don't have my wildcard. 2x on Lando or Oscar. I'm thinking Lando for one. If you have Lando and Oscar, you always put the 2x on Lando. That I have said that this entire season. If you're in a position where you have triple McLaren, you always put the 2x on Norris, no matter what, just because of the differential application. Tricky, what's up? What is up for me is that I am confused about what to do with my F1 fantasy team. I love how fast we got away from a 4A heavy lineup this race. Yeah, it's just Ferrari being Ferrari, man. If Ferrari looked better, it would be a completely different story. Anyone know what Rob's planning to do on the other stream? I mean, Rob is also very much looking into selling Ferrari. Caladori, thank you so much for the Prime sub. Just another Saturday indeed. Are you taking questions? Yeah, I'm taking questions. Shoot. Russell Ferrari versus Russell Mercedes versus Norris Aston Martin. And that is what I'm discussing for my team as well, I suppose. I think it's literally impossible to tell. It's so close. I think for this race I think for Sandford specifically, I think Norris Aston Martin is the better combo. But there's literally the Russell Ferrari, Russell Mercedes could be stronger next week. Aston Martin fell off in F3, sure, but I mean McLaren did not fall off. That's the thing. If you're doing it, you're doing it for the triple McLaren. What's the forecast? Looks dry. Would you put the 2x on the one you're planning to final fix in Norris? If I'm final fixing, it's on the Russell team. It's not on this team. This I can get for free. But yes, I would. If you have Norris, you 2x Norris. Rob has wildcards, so Aston build is much easier for him. Yeah, I did see that, yeah. He did not wildcard at the beginning of the year. Drive for calling a race means Lance Stroll loses value, I guess. To get to this team, would you use wildcard? No, I can get to this team for free. The problem is I don't have my wildcard to wildcard out of this team in Monza if I want the 4A lineup instead. It would take like 2 races time for me to get to a 4A lineup. I see no one's talking about Verstappen Dark Horse. There's too much things to talk about. I'm just going to ignore Max Verstappen, even though it's his home race. I am fully with that said, I'm fully expecting Max Verstappen to be on the podium. The Twitch subs get the subscriber submission on Discord, by the way. You should be. I think my Twitch is linked to the Discord. So if you have your Discord and your Twitch linked, I think you should get access to the members-only channel. If not, I'll have to look into that and fix it for the next one. But yes, subs on Discord, subs on Twitch get access to the members only. I don't have a command. I don't have any command set up on Twitch, even other. I should have the Discord linked. If I don't have the Discord linked, just go to the YouTube and it's there in the description. Thanks for your love for the stream and Discord. Your discussion have carried me so far this season. I've never been that good at Fantasy F1. I appreciate it, man. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for. When does Writer come out? I'm not. Don't make the joke. Don't make the joke. Don't make. He comes out with the simulations in like 20 to 30 minutes. Yeah. Okay. Listen, guys. My Twitch is not set up. I'm just. I just press live. Okay. I'll fix all of that stuff next month when I'm unemployed. You go with Lawson or Sainz instead of Stroll, so less switches for 2A lineup next week, right? Yeah, but we're back to minus. I mean, I have to do these 3 transfers. I don't have Bortoleto already, so I'm already to get to this team. I'm already using that. I meant the same. Sorry, I was. Don't make the joke. Don't make the joke. Scott Lundgren, thank you so much for the Prime on Twitch. Thank you so much. Hype train? I don't even know what that means. Never seen that before. If you ruled out Aston as constructor, have you made a decision? I've not ruled it out. I've definitely not ruled it out. Well, we spent the last 20 minutes talking about it. Is there a world where I just keep Ferrari? I feel like keeping Ferrari feels so bad for this. People get an extra emote if they sub during a hype train. Well, I only have one emote, so I'll get again. I'm unemployed next month. I'll fix it then. I'll fix emotes and stuff and everything next month. Oh, the emotes are for Twitch. I see. I'm bad at this, guys. I'm bad at this. I'm considering Verstappen instead of Lando here with triple Aston, but where it might be too volatile. I mean, I think it's a bit too volatile. But if you want to go crazy, you can go crazy. Yeah, it's not like I've ruled it out because there's no wildcard. It's just like if I had wildcard, I would have already done it. Like if I had wildcard, I would have locked it in. Because I still think that is probably the best way to go this race. I just don't like the look of Hamilton or Antonelli. But then again, do I like triple Aston with Lance Stroll after the shunt he did in FP2? Ugh. From Man United to Ferrari, sigh. I know the feeling. Any idea for driver of the day and fastest pit stop? I think if Alonso can stay high, I think Alonso can definitely sneak a driver of the day. I think if Max can get a P3, Max could get driver of the day. If nothing else exciting happens, though, I could see Norris getting it if he wins, because he's on track to overtake Piastri in the championship. If you can't afford Stroll, who would you pick? Sainz, probably. I hate the idea of going double Stroll. Yeah, same. Elvis is very correct. If you haven't liked the stream over on YouTube, please make sure you do so. I know it's annoying to hear me say that all the time, but it actually really helps pushing the channel up. It's the one free way to help the channel. The second free way to help the channel is if you're already subscribed to Amazon Prime. You can go over to Twitch, link in the description, and subscribe there using Amazon Prime. It is by far the best way to directly support the stream. Hype train emotes. Oh, there we go. Like done, sir. Thank you so much, Hernshen. I don't know why you have Colapinto in there, Emir. If you're looking for a 4.5, I mean, I guess if you already had Colapinto, you might already, just stick with him. But I prefer both Lawson and Bortoleto to him. Chip Chaga, triple McLaren Aston build with autopilots. I wouldn't pop autopilots. I would just put the 2x on Norris, call it a day. But yeah, triple, I mean, that's what we were talking about. So everyone's sharing that Russell hasn't gone a driver today since Sakir 2020. Insane. Yep. He's just not popular with the fandom. That is crazy though. I did not think it was that long. Any update on weather for the race? Weather for the race looks dry. I mean, it might rain at the start of the race and then clear up. It's very... It's probably going to be dry, though. But again, it's Dutch weather, so you don't know. It could literally start raining out of nowhere. If I'm selling... Okay, am I selling Ferrari? Not selling Ferrari seems so bad, just because, like... It's just an in-between week where I just sell Hulkenberg and Behrman. For... It would probably be Sainz and Bortoleto. Let's go over to F1 Fantasy Tools. Let's make some teams, okay? I mean, I should probably wait for the FP3. Okay, we'll do that as soon as FP3 seems to go out. Okay, I also haven't done F1 Predict, so let's just quickly slam through F1 Predicts, and then hopefully, when I'm done with that, we have FP3 Sims. I better see chat spam me when FP3 Sims comes out, because I'm gonna sit with those for at least a good solid 20 minutes. Okay, I will do team submissions today, but it's going to be very difficult because there's so many viable lines that there's so many variables for each individual team to consider. It's like, from my team, like, I can get to triple Aston, triple McLaren for free, but I can't get out of it. Can you do that? Do you have wildcard available for next week? Can you get to just, like, Piastri Russell lineups for without taking a hit now? And we haven't even talked about that yet, but, like, I can just... I know I just said we're going to do F1 Predict, but I could also just do this for a -4. Where is... I could just do this for a -4 as well. Oh, -4, -10. I've been FPL pilled. I could just do this for a -10. But then again, do I trust Kimi Antonelli? Probably not. So if I don't trust Kimi Antonelli and don't want like the Mercedes constructor because of that reason, don't I just go with the Aston build instead? Uber says, I think you should create a 100 million team for every race and just see how you do purely for points. I am one step ahead of you, man. I'm one step ahead of you. I have made a 100 million team for to on my second account. Stroll to Bortoletto worth a -10? No, definitely not. No, literally not a single move that is just switching a cheap asset from one to the other is worth a -10. It's only worth it if you can then upgrade something else. So, for example, in this instance, if I were to take a -10 to get George Russell plus Mercedes, it's worth a -10 to do Bearman down because it gives me the funds to upgrade something else. But just in a vacuum, a -10 is never worth it on cheap assets. Okay, let's go to F1 Predict. Make your predictions. So, predict the podium for the Dutch Grand Prix. I'm gonna do Norris, Piastri, and I do think Verstappen could take it. I mean, 9 points, 10 points for Russell. Yeah, I might as well just put Verstappen there because I think Max Verstappen will do it. Who will take pole? I'm gonna say Norris. Who will qualify the highest? Behrman gives more points, so let's pick Behrman. How many teams will get a car into Q3? So if we guess that Tsunoda won't make Q3, Kimi Antonelli won't make Q3, less than 7 teams, which is the option that gives the least points. So let's just say, so 8 teams. Do we think Hamilton will get to Q3? I'm going to say yes. So I'm just going to put 7. It's the least amount of points, but I think it's the most likely. Who will finish ahead in the race? I'm going to say Sainz. Williams look decent here. Fastest pit stop time. I'm just going to keep guessing Ferrari until I get it wrong. I feel like switching this around is nonsensical. Will there be a safety car? I'm just going to say yes. 20 points for no is pretty tempting. But yeah, I'm gonna say yes. It's a tricky track. Who will set the fastest lap time of the race? I'm just gonna set Oscar Piastri because if Lando wins, then Piastri will be second and get the fastest lap. Which team will score more points this weekend? I'm gonna say Aston Martin. And then most places gained by a driver. If there are changing conditions, which it looks like there might be at the start, I'm gonna say more than. It's worth more points as well, and I think it could happen. There we go. Locked in. And then we also have these mid-season predictions. Predict the top 3 in the Drivers' Championship. I'm going to predict Lando first. Oscar second. Spooky, I know. And then Max third. Safe selection. And then which team will finish the season higher? I'm going to go for Ferrari. I do think Ferrari can get there. Just because I do think Hamilton will outscore Kimi Antonelli until the end of the season. And Leclerc will be close to Russell. Which driver will score the most Grand Prix pole positions? I'm going to say Lando. Who wins the qualifying head-to-head at Kick Sauber? I'm going to say Hulkenberg. Who wins qualifying head-to-head? I'm going to say Albon. Which team will set the fastest pit stop time of the season? I'm going to put McLaren. Which driver finishes the season highest in the championship? I'm going to put Hadjar. And then who will win the DHL fastest lap award this year? Most fastest laps during the season. I'll just put Piastri. And then where does Lewis Hamilton finish the driver championship? Ugh. I hate predicting this. I mean, it's probably 6th, right? And then will the Drivers' Championship go to a final race decider? No. Someone's going to DNF and then that's going to decide it. Okay. That's F1 predicts. Alright, let's go back to what actually matters. Oh, I'm so lost what to do, man. If the triple McLaren worth it if the only second constructor you can afford is Alpine? No. I don't think so. I would rather run like McLaren plus Mercedes plus Piastri. Budget is a great question, Jail. Fantastic question. My budget right now is 126.9. I'm very curious what everyone else's is. So, please, right now, if you're here and you hear this, let me know in the chat what your current budget is, because I want to know if I'm above or below average. 127.1. I mean, dude, I keep getting jealous of Fraser's budget, but I also know that he can't really do anything with the budget, so I feel kind of that does make me feel better. I think like if you're above 125 million, you can make a good team. If you're below 120 million, you should check out the video that I posted on my channel that has not appeared in the algorithm. I made a whole video talking about how I think you should play the game if you're below 120 million. So definitely go check that out. It's my most recent video on my channel. Posted on like Wednesday, I think. 125.1. FP3 sims out. You love to see it. You love to see it. 128.6. I feel like most people are, between like 123 and like 127. I feel like it's the most common. That's bad phrase for saying it's budget. It's actually crazy how high his budget is, but he's also not been able to utilize it yet, so I guess we'll get jealous in a while when he actually can do it. Alright, let's update this. Am I logged in? I am logged in. This is not helpful Jesus. What are they saying the expected points are for Ferrari and Mercedes? 46, 40. Yeah, I think they just don't rate Kimi Antonelli at all currently. And they really rate Norris and Piastri. Oh. Okay. Let's not be that crazy. For budget, I think I should do a -10, but that's just selling Stroll for Lawson. So it's essentially Bortoleto for budget. Signs for points. Ay. Triple Bortoleto stats. Has to be. Didn't know what I was doing until I found your channel. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, at least you know now, so at the start of next year, you're going to know exactly what you're doing, and you're going to have a great season. Hello, I'm late. Are we using any chip this week? I'm not using any chip. I'm just jealous of everyone that has a wild card remaining. Okay, what do we do here? I mean, I'm not getting Gasly, that's for sure. It is Sainz or Bortoleto. What does Sainz need to score again to have an increase? He needs a decent haul for that, right? Required points. 10 points. Triple McLaren for sure. Second year rainforest, second time champion of my league because of it. That is what I advertise. What would your wildcard team look like? My wildcard, I wouldn't use my wildcard this week. I would go to triple McLaren, triple Aston, and then just having my wild card means that I can get out of it if I want to get to a 4A team in Monza. The reason I'm not just jumping on the triple McLaren, triple Aston team is that it's super difficult for me to get out of that team. I guess I could do it with a -10. But yeah, what if we click McLaren Ferrari? It says 227. I mean, I would sell Behrman, so let's just get rid of Behrman from the calculations, and Ocon and Gasly, because I'm not getting Gasly. I'm not getting Hadjar either. Okay, so then it's saying I should get Norris instead of Piastri. I mean, I wouldn't do that because I would save a transfer if I kept Ferrari. So what's this? 224 points and 241. That's a big difference. That's a massive difference. Massive difference. If you wildcard, you get budget for current team or wildcard team. I mean, wildcard just gives you infinite transfers, so like your wildcard team stays. If you're talking limitless, then after that you get the budget for your prior team. But wildcard just means you get infinite transfers for the week, so you stick with the budget you have. Is it worth taking a -10 to go from Stroll to Alonso? No. It's never worth it taking a -10 to go from one cheap asset to another cheap asset without the value of the budget you're getting funneling into somewhere else, if that makes sense. So like a sideways move of the cheap assets is never worth a -10. Because like what? You know, do you think Alonso will outscore Stroll by 10 points? I don't think so. Alonso can outscore Stroll, but the simulations predict that he will outscore Stroll by 6 points. That's less than 10. And, I mean, the easiest way to see why that's the case, by the way, I know I say that a lot, that's like my go-to tip when everyone asks for a -10, it's just like, look at the points scored throughout the season by cheap assets. If we sort here by average, like Hulkenberg, who is up here above Antonelli, by the way, average score throughout the season is 11 points. Stroll's average score is 7 points. We can even remove... let's remove not classified points. Just to sort of filter it out a bit more. To see what they actually score when they don't DNF. And even then, Hulkenberg on average scores 12.5. Well, we can ignore that one. Albon scores 10.5. Stroll's on 9. Alonso's on 6.5. Like, no one here scores significantly above 10 points. So you're never in a single weekend getting more than 10 points. I mean, the times when cheap assets score above like 15 points are big outliers. It's like Hulkenberg podium kind of outliers. It's Bortoletto driver of the day outliers. Other than that just doesn't happen. So why do I feel like every week is like this where I don't know what to do with my team? I think there was one race this season where I knew for sure. Yeah, that's kind of been the case this year, hasn't it? It's never been just cut and dry. Alonso is also going to rise next week, and this week he's going to +6 for sure. Yeah, he does have a 70-pointer here, and if he scores another 10-pointer, he's primed for another increase. So I get that. I get the appeal of doing that, but I still don't think it's worth it. Also, you don't need budget that much anymore. It's the end of the season. You need points now. So I wouldn't sacrifice the points, even with that. You can always just do it next week. And I mean, like, Stroll is not that bad for budget. Wildcard to get Stroll over Hulk. I wouldn't spend a wildcard just for that, no. I would just stick with Hulk. Hulk is not a bad pick. It's just not, like, top. Oh, we haven't even done tier list. I don't think we're doing a tier list today. We have way too many things to discuss. Like, there's way too many decisions to be made. I don't think we have time to do a proper tier list today. Especially, I will say, doing any sort of team submission is going to be very, very difficult. I'll try my best, but I'm going to sort of take the team submissions and use it as a part of the discussion to sort of flow in and out between them. I'm not just going to go straight through, if that makes sense. Ish. It's a rough week. It's a rough week today. What's the predicted budget delta for the triple barrel versus 4A? Great question. I don't know. I mean, I could just calculate that in my head, right? You have plus 0.6, plus 0.3. And let's assume you do go for Bortoletto. So plus 0.6, plus 0.6. I mean, Bortoletto's the same on both teams. Piastri's the same for both teams. Alonso's the same for both teams. So what would differ is like this, I suppose. So is Norris likely a 0.3 increase? 38 points. I mean, if he wins the race or gets either fastest lap or driver of the day and doesn't win, I mean, Norris is not getting driver of the day unless he actually wins the race. That's impossible for him. So Norris either needs to win or get like second with fastest lap to increase 0.3. But so let's just assume he gets a 0.1 just for to be realistic. So Norris 0.1, Stroll 0.3. Where am I? Stroll is 0.2, I mean, sorry, not 0.3. So we have 0.2, 0.1, so 0.3 for these two, 0.6, plus another 0.3, so 1.2 million across the board here. Whereas if I had the 4A lineup, it would be this, it would be Sainz, because of, so it would be Sainz. Oh, why am I doing McLaren? I would have McLaren on both teams. I'm stupid. So it's removed. So it's 0.9 versus Russell and like Ferrari or Mercedes. So then it's 0.3 points. Is it 0.6 likely for Sainz? He's a 10-pointer, right? So 0.3, 0.3. So it depends on Sainz getting a 0.6. I guess if you go Lawson here over Sainz, it's more likely that it's a 0.6. So in that case, you're actually losing out 0.2 million by going for the triple. So I think budget looks slightly better for the... Yeah, budget looks slightly better for the 4A. Slightly. But that could obviously change if Norris wins the race and gets his point. Yeah, if Norris wins the race, it's literally equal. Yeah, so it depends on Norris. If Norris wins, it's equal. If Norris doesn't win, then you slightly lose out on budget by going triple. What about Williams over Aston? I can't afford that with the team I want to build, so I haven't really considered it. But you can definitely consider it if you have enough budget for it. Can you do a quick summary of the stream because I joined? The quick summary of the stream is no one knows what the fuck to do. And I don't usually drop the F-bomb on stream, but I had to for that one. So that's basically what's happening. Literally everything is viable. Something is really good this week, but we don't know if it's good next week. Do we want 4A now? Do we want 4A tomorrow? Do we want 4A and never? Like, are we just going to run triple McLaren until the end of the day? So, I don't know. I don't know. That's how am I supposed to do team submissions? I don't know what to do with my own team. I don't know. I have no idea. I literally have no clue. Okay, we've also been listening to the same song for like 20 minutes and I forgot to change it. So, just... Yeah, let's just listen to... it's a simulation, because this is all a simulation. You're the one to know. I have no idea, dude. I have no idea. I'm just as confused as anyone else. I know I'm supposed to know, but there's too many variables. Like, we haven't even discussed Williams as an option. I've only really said that, like, I like Sainz. Hulkenberg or Albon? Probably Albon. We need the FPL time travelers to give us some tips. True, we do need them. Whoever triple captain, was it Timber, Calafiore, whatever. Timber, right? Okay. Is there a world where I get Williams? Probably not, right? I would need a minus 10 for that. Yeah, if I'm to get Williams, I can't have Stroll. So it depends on your team. Like, I also don't think like this is also not bad. This also looks like a good team, but this is a minus 10, so why would I ever go for this? It's also keeping Hulk over Stroll. I could see it. I prefer Stroll slightly though. Alright, if you haven't liked the stream yet, let's see where we're at. 56 like with 300 people here. That is abysmal, I must say. I'm very disappointed in everyone. 60 likes with 300 people in the stream? Come on, you can do better than that. So if you haven't liked the stream yet, make sure you do so. It costs nothing. And it means a lot. Is there a chance of rain in the quali? Slight. I mean, it's Dutch weather. Literally anything can happen. That's also the reason why we're confused. Would you go limitless or 3x for the mini league? Limitless. $120.9 budget. What do you recommend? It's rough. I don't know. 120 million budget. I recommend that you watch my video that I posted on Wednesday. Granted, it's slightly outdated because a lot of people aren't doing 4A anymore, but yeah, I agree with Geosaurus. It's another thing, but I feel like doubling up on or I guess you don't double up. Like, I'm just unsure about Kim Antonelli as well. Driver for the day prediction. I mean, I would probably put it at Alonso. Or Norris if he wins. Max if he gets P3. Even though I know Max doesn't get it often, but during the Dutch Grand Prix, I could definitely see him getting it. There's been a trend of home drivers getting it. Especially if Max can beat one of the McLarens. Like, could you imagine? Alright, yeah, I mean, I'm not going for the Williams team. I don't think this is bad, by the way. I think this is totally serviceable. It's just cost a -10, and I'm trying to avoid that. Okay, the more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm leaning towards actually going for this. Triple Stroll, well, not triple, but double Stroll is scary. But if it comes to it, and I have to get out of the triple, like if I have to get out of this build and I want to go to a 4A, I can always do it with a -10 and get Piastri, Russell, McLaren, Mercedes. So also triple Aston Martin. That's what we've been discussing the entire stream. I mean, okay, there are two things that are scary with this. F1 Fantasy Tools say this is the best team for me. I mean, they say that Science is better for points, but I think I'm going to do Bortoleto because that gives me more options going forward. Yeah, I agree, Fraser, but he also did crash it in FP2, so... but yeah, I do think we're slightly we're being overly scared of Lance Stroll when, like, Norris could also just crash and that would be equally bad for this team. I think that's fine, Urisoto. I think I mean, if you have Bortoleto, you're gonna get it next race anyway. Just out of budget reach for triple McLaren, triple Aston. If you include Stroll in that, you could always just downgrade Stroll to Carlos Sainz, and I think arguably this build is equally good. Like this is just as good as the other one. What about double A? I would have to take a -10 hit to get double A, or quadruple A, I suppose. This is technically triple A, so you would have to do it. It's 4A, I'd say, Pran. But I would have to take a -10 for 4A, which is why I was considering just doing an in-between transfer and getting 4A next time. But I can get a 4A with -10 next race if I want to anyway. I'm just never sold about the Mercedes constructor just because of Kimi Antonelli being very wishy-washy. Hadjar is going to drop 0.6 million in price, so I'm probably buying Hadjar next week when he's 4.5 million. That's what he's going to be, right? He's 5.1 now. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Hadjar's going to drop 0.6, so I'm just going to buy Hadjar next week. Aston, Alonso, Lawson, Albon. That's pretty crazy. Can you afford that? Oh, I can afford that as well. I'm stupid. I mean, I suppose. Again, this cost me a -10, so I'm not going to do it, but... Because it's technically just like a sideways move from Stroll to Albon. Yes, I get... Yeah, I mean, yeah, I like every build that's this. Like, this looks good on any team. Like, whichever you can afford here. If it's Stroll, Albon, Sainz, Lawson, Bortoletto... Yeah, 2x Norris. Always 2x Norris if you have Norris. I still don't get this budget increase thing. Like, for me, I can't fit 3A. I mean, we've just been using this for the entire season. This has been our holy bible, and it's been like, incredibly accurate. So this is the amount of points they need to score to increase or decrease in price. It's remarkably accurate. Right now it's almost it's guaranteed to be right. So we've just been focusing on the cheap drivers that are at the top here every race, and just switching our cheap drivers around because it's based on the last 3 races. It's not just what they score in this one race. So like, Behrman could score 35 points and not increase the maximum in price. That's what that means, right? Did Russell get any penalty for incident FP3? I haven't seen anything, never mind. But please tag me if that pops up. When making my team choices, how do I prioritize points over budget? Current budget is 126.3. That's the golden question, Derek, because we don't know. Like, looking back at the season, there's going to be a clear and obvious point when that's the right. But the honest, correct answer is when the drivers at the bottom of the budget lists, or when the drivers at the top of the budget list, DNF, and the drivers at the bottom of the budget list don't. That's going to be the actual response to that question. So I'm going to start looking into it, like, in the coming couple of races. And I'm already not looking at the budget as much as I did before. Like, I don't care if this team... Literally, like, I don't care if this team is less in budget than the 4A team, or whichever team I would have had with Piastri, McLaren, Ferrari, right? I don't care about the budget between these two teams, or these 3 options, I suppose. I only care about the points scored. Russell just got fined? Huh? He just got fined, or he lost positions? Like, he just got fined as in his thing just got through, or... Hold on, let me look. FIA documents bot. FIA documents. Pit lane incident. Fine, 7,500. Okay. So Russell is not getting a grid penalty. It's just a fine. Okay. Cool. Pit lane incident. So he just got fined 7,500 euro. I say that like that's nothing. Like that would be life-changing money for me. But when are we doing team submissions? In a bit. Also, Uber, thank you so much for the Prime over on Twitch. Greatly appreciated. If you're on YouTube and you want to support the channel, the best way to do so is if you're already subscribed to Amazon Prime, you get a free Amazon Prime subscription on Twitch every month, and if you use that on me, that would be greatly appreciated. It doesn't cost anything for you if you already have Amazon Prime, and it directly supports the channel. So if you have your Prime subscription available on Twitch, consider just clicking the link in the description and going over there, and then you can come back to YouTube if you prefer to watch it on YouTube. I don't really care where you watch it. I look at both chats, so... Fine 7.5. Yep. Was it Piastri messed up? No, it was Russell. Good racing stash. Thanks. I've been working on it for a year plus. Like, look at it. It's... Also, I know you can't tell, but literally like 2 weeks ago, I cut off like 4 centimeters from the stash. That's how long it was. Because I was twirling it, and I noticed it, like, loop back into my nostril, and I was like, that's not right. So I've cut off 4 centimeters from the stash. What do you think about the 3X DRS here? No. I'm gonna use it on triple McLaren in Kota or something. I think it should always be used in a sprint weekend. It's just optimal in a sprint weekend. Because there's more points for the McLaren boys. Alright, should we do team submissions? We can start working our way through them at least. And again, I apologize for my team submissions things today because like I don't know. The answer to all of them is going to be I don't know. Do what feels right. Okay. Again, I'm gonna disable streamer mode because I do like to see who's actually doing the submissions. So, over on the Discord, if you're a member or if you're a subscriber on Twitch, you should have access to an exclusive members chat here. If you don't have it and you're on Twitch and you just subscribe with Prime, I apologize and I will get it fixed for next week. But I think it should work. It's possible it doesn't though. You need to have your YouTube if you're a YouTube member. Or your Twitch, if you're on Twitch, linked to your Discord account. And you should be able to see this. Anyway, we'll do Fraser's first, because he is a YouTube member. And then we'll go over to the regular team submissions. If you want to be a part of this for next week, make sure you join the Discord. Link should be in the description on YouTube. It might be in the description on Twitch. I don't know. But if not, it's definitely on the YouTube description. Again, everything on my Twitch is not set up. I'm working on it. But I think I'm unemployed for next month, so... so I will have time to fix it. So, Fraser, if you don't know, has infinite budget. 31.7 million. Insane. 3 transfers. Option 1 is just 2 transfers to keep Lawson. So leaves him with 3 transfers and budget for the following race. I can switch to 4A without taking the -10. Option 2 is straight to 4A but takes the -10. So, this is what's unfortunate because he's not using all the budget. This is what I was considering in the beginning. I do think... I mean, Alonso Stroll should be on all of these at least, right? Colapinto here with Mercedes. Ooh. Wait, you could afford McLaren, Norris, Piastri, Mercedes? Is that not the most disgusting thing you guys have ever seen, by the way? Can we just talk about this? How is this an actual team that someone can make? We're truly not playing the same game. Like, we're truly not playing the same game. This is insane. Oh, first one's your current team? Okay, got it. I mean, this team is good, right? Like, this team is just... It's just what I'm doing, but with Lawson. How greedy! Yeah. Wait, who's that? That's some guy on TikTok, right? How greedy! Isn't that the TCG, the Pokemon guy? Does anyone know what I'm talking about here? I think there's a TikTok creator who does like Pokemon stuff. How greedy! This is greedy. This is disgusting. I mean, this is what okay. When we talk about 4A, this is your 4A. I think you can honestly afford to rock with this without taking the -10. And you can go for this, like, later. Because, like, this is... Because, I mean, Colapinto is not super exciting to have right now. So, I would not want to go without Alonso. So, for you, Fraser, you go with this now. And then, like, you're going to increase in budget. And then you just get Mercedes next time. And run... disgusting team. Filthy team. Okay, I actually get upset looking at this. So, I'm going to move on now. But I think you go for the triple option. And then next week, you get... Mercedes in there. Alright, let's see. JC, would you do this for -10 or a wild card? Again, great budget here. You have Russell, Alonso. Oh, it's because Mercedes in there. Okay, makes sense. I'm not sure about Mercedes as an option when Aston Martin looks this good, because I'm unsure how much I trust Kimi Antonelli, right? Yeah, I want that 4A team, but it scores less than the Aston team, which is so frustrating. Yeah, it makes sense, but that's what I mean. You should go for the Aston team now, and then, like, get the Mercedes, like, next time around. I think this team, it looks really strong. -10 is difficult. And also, I don't trust Kimi Antonelli. So I do think triple McLaren and Aston Martin just is better, because you can quite easily switch to Russell or Mercedes from that sort of team. What we're doing, essentially... Okay, what it kind of all boils down to, and I'm doing this while I'm doing the team submissions, because I feel like that's kind of what we're doing, is... If we're switching to triple McLaren, triple Aston Martin, essentially what we're saying is that, like, we cannot have Ferrari in a good team in Monza. Alonso or Stroll, if you can only afford one of the AM drivers, definitely Alonso. Both for budgets and points and safety. So always Alonso, in my opinion. I don't think we should be scared of double Stroll. I think we're being too scared of double Stroll. Like we should be equally scared over double Norris. Tip of the week. Tip of the week we're due in like 30 minutes time, or until we get enough super chats, which we've gotten none of today. So it's probably in 30 minutes. Unless you have wildcard, exactly. Unless you have wildcard. So, yeah, I prefer... I'm just scared of Kimi Antonelli. That's why I have sort of written off Mercedes as an option for myself for this race, just because I don't trust Kimi. Stroll is always dangerous. I am beached. Yeah, I know. Alright, let's talk about the next one. Current team, this is literally my exact same team, so... I understand why you're in the same dilemma as me. 3 out of 3 free transfers available. Literally the exact same problem. Houdini. And we have... Number 1 was exactly my suggestion. This was my first option. Number 2 is this. And number 3 is this. I would have used the autopilot if you ran this, but... You are considering the exact same teams as me. Chat, I'm confused on what to do with 3 transfers. Everyone is confused. So, welcome to the club. So, I mean, this is literally the same as my teams. I think I'm going to do the triple McLaren. Triple Aston. And I think the last driver is then Gabriel Bortoleto. I'm very interested in going for Sainz, just because I've wanted to have him for a while. But I think it's safer to go Bortoleto, because I can't really afford to take budget drops with this. And, like, you know, if Bortoleto were to DNF, at least he doesn't drop in price, whereas Sainz would. And if I buy Sainz and he DNFs, I'm in big trouble. Okay, so consider this. Even though I do think Sainz could be really good, and I do think Sainz could definitely get 10 points, if I go for Sainz and he DNFs, I would have to sell Sainz next week, and I would only have 2 free transfers. And what if then I want to bring Mercedes or Ferrari in here? I can't. I would have to take -10. Whereas Gabriel Bortoleto, I would be fine. If Gabriel Bortoleto DNFs and he looks to decrease for the next, you know, or not decrease, but not increase for the rest of the season, I would be fine just holding Gabriel Bortoleto for literally from now until the end of the season. So I do want to get in one of the 4.5 million assets here. And I'm assuming you go 2x on Norris? Yes. If you have Piastri and Norris, you always go 2x on Norris. Tails on Twitch says, what are we thinking in 3x or autopilot with Oscar and Lando? I don't think we use 3x or autopilot this race, because I do think that McLaren are going to be dominant, is the word I'm looking for the rest of the season. So you should use the 3x in a a sprint weekend. Vitor, thank you so much. Gift membership? That's so kind to Colby. Colby, welcome to the members club. Victor, did you mean to do that, or did... Oh, you're already a member. Thanks a lot for the gifted membership, man. Congratulations to Colby. Emo Phillips, thank you so much for the Prime sub on Twitch. I appreciate it. Never trust Stroll. I mean, Stroll's been really good this season. Like, every time I've had him, he's been great. What do you think is going for budget? Boring, but then using wildcard in Monza. I mean, if you're budget building here. So with my team, like if I were to go full budget build, which again I understand that that's boring. You definitely sell Stroll then. And you rock this, and this. I think this is the budget builder team. I mean, it's 13 million in the bank. You could also consider a free hit here to get. Oh no, you can't get Russell here. Whatever. Maybe with your budget you can free hit Russell. Why not autopilot if you have triple McLaren? Because I mean, you could autopilot in a different race as well. Like I'm probably gonna have multiple premium drivers in the future anyway. So leaning away from the 4A this weekend. The thing is, I'm leaning away from it because it cost me a -10 to do it anyway. It's just like, and also if we go on the team calculator and actually compare the two, let's add a manual team with Ferrari, Russell, Bortoletto, Lawson, Sainz. Like, right, let's say you have this team. Like, this team gets outscored by like 20 points according to the simulations, which is crazy. Lawson versus Bortoletto, I prefer Bortoletto. If you had wildcard, would you replace Stroll? Not enough budget with Sainz and Bortoletto? No. If I had wildcard, I would just go to literally... Which is tab? I would do this team right here that I've been discussing this entire time. Without question. Just because it would be so easy to wildcard out of this next week if I wanted to go for like Piastri, Russell, Mercedes, or Piastri, Russell, Ferrari, or whichever, right? So if I had wildcard, I would not wildcard this week. I would just go to this team and then feel confident that I can safely get out of this team if I wished to. It's not counted as a transfer. It just says that confirmed changes. So it looks like it costs. So like if I do this, you're about to make you're about to make 4 changes, but it only uses 3 transfers. It's just you're about to make changes, is what that means. I know it's very confusing. I don't know why, but like yeah, it counts as a change, but not a transfer. But I have been confused by that before. Yes. Would you go Ferrari or Aston plus Russell? I think Aston plus Russell is interesting. Lawson instead of Stroll? Sure. I mean, again, I've already discussed that, but I think like this plus any combination is incredible. Is probably the strongest combination this week. And again, whatever you put here, like this could be Sainz Bortoletto if you're low on budget. This could be Lawson Bortoletto if you're even lower on budget. This could be, I mean, I could stretch this to Alex Albon if with my budget, and I think this is really strong. Is Sainz budget building? Yes, Sainz is the 3rd or 4th best budget building asset, right? He's 4th best. Yeah, he's right after Alonso. I mean, he's not fantastic, but like he's up there. Stupid thing. So yeah, dude, I've literally done the exact same thing. So don't worry about it, Meg. Are you considering no neg or not? I'm not considering it because I don't have it anymore. But I wouldn't even if I had it because it looks like it's gonna be fine. The weather it's a bit wishy-washy as it always is with. That was my Discord sound. I'm very sorry about that. Let me do not disturb. If you got baited by that, I'm so sorry. Emo, let's see. Tricky Bovis, oh my god, ... What did you discover? Yeah, if you got baited by that Discord sound, I'm so sorry. I forgot to do. A cruel reminder, nobody messages me. Discord bait was crazy. What? This is just the BBC, but I've done YR, like ER. I do multiple different sites always. I always cross-check it between like 3 or 4 different sites. I don't have just one site I check. I just like this one because it shows every hour, which is what I want right now. Do you like the Cadillac lineup for next year? I love the Cadillac lineup. Just a Discord meme. Yeah, it's pretty funny though. I think I've decided I'm going for this. Okay, let's assume... Okay, we're just going back and forth with team submissions. So, Houdini, since you're on the same team as me, I would do this, but not autopilot. Because that's what I think I'm doing. Can you swap 2x when final fixing? No. If you final fix, and the 2x is on the asset you final fix, the new asset will have the 2x. But you can't change it when you final fix. Now use 2x Piastri and 3x Norris? No, I would wait for a sprint weekend. Salima, let's see. What do we have here? We have a bunch of possibilities. So, literally the same team as me. Okay, we've already discussed my team. So, I'm not going to discuss that again, Salima. But I hope you've been listening to the rest of the stream, because there have been a lot of discussions. JJ says, I don't know which one feels better. So, you have... This is Norris Piastri, cheaper assets. This is Russell Piastri with Stroll in there as well. I mean, the reason why the Aston Martin build is strong is because the McLaren boys are so... so it's definitely the left one, JJ. It's definitely Norris Piastri McLaren with Lawson, Sainz, Alonso, and Skip Stroll. 100%. 2x Norris or Piastri? Definitely Norris if you have both. Ferrari or Mercedes? Even though Ferrari don't look great, I just don't trust Kimi Antonelli right now. So I would prefer to hold Ferrari if I was doing that. I feel like in this race I need to use autopilot. I mean, you can rip it. Autopilot is by far the weakest chip in the game. So if you feel uncertain, you can use it. There's no like optimal way, because almost like 50% of the time when you use autopilot, or less than 50% of the time when you use autopilot, if you've actually made a good selection, that chip literally does nothing. Because if you have two premium drivers and one of them is going to outscore the other, and you pick the driver that you think is going to outscore the other, I would assume that your pick is based off of something, like some sort of data, right? Which means that less than 50% of the time, that chip literally does nothing anyway. So you might as well just rip it if you're uncertain. But I do think, like, from now until the end of the season, you could conceivably use autopilot every single race, and it could be optimal, it could be not optimal. Norris or Piastri to bring in? For who? Like, who do you have? Final fix this weekend? Okay, so the final fix solution, I don't think I'm doing this, because I think I'm doing the Aston Martin build, but one thing I was considering, right? I guess I'm still semi-considering it, but I'm not considering it anymore. Actually, I'm not considering it because I don't want Mercedes, because I don't trust Kimi Antonelli. But one thing I was considering was to use my 3 free transfers to do this, and then I would have 13 million in the bank, and then final fix Stroll in for Russell. Or final fix Stroll out for Russell. And then this would be my team, and they would go back to Stroll. Good morning from Argentina. Good morning, man. Good morning. So, I mean, I have considered this. Like, instead of doing this with a -10, do it, but with a final fix. Should I exchange Piastri to Norris? I wouldn't, I don't think. Because, like, Piastri might as well outscore. I think it's a waste of a transfer. It's like a sideways move, but then it makes it more difficult to afford, like, Piastri, Russell, McLaren, Mercedes, if that looks optimal in the next race. Final fix for Norris, Max. I mean, similar. Like, if you can afford it, looks good. Mr. Deviant, first-time chatter, welcome to the stream on Twitch, says Bortoleto versus Lawson. I prefer Bortoleto in that combination. I think they're both very similar. Both are 4.5. Both are viable picks. I just trust Bortoleto slightly more, and Bortoleto is more likely to increase in price. What are the qualification and race pace predictions? I mean, looking over... We're mainly looking at expected fantasy points, but I do expect it to be tight with everyone but McLaren. Where can I find them? Just go to F1 Fantasy Tools. And you can see the predicted points there. But you can also check the F1 Fantasy Tools Discord, where they actually show, like, the graphs and stuff. You have faith in Stroll than Kimi? Not necessarily. It's just like... I guess I do, yeah. I would say I have more faith in Stroll than Kimi right now. Hot take. But... If you already have Lawson, would you use the third transfer for Bortoleto? No, you would save a transfer. I would 100% save a transfer. I would, yeah, you definitely save a transfer if you already have Lawson. But like, just on a blank canvas basis, I prefer Bortoleto to Lawson. But if you already have Lawson, I wouldn't sell Lawson to Bortoleto just because, right? I would save a transfer. With 4x premium, who would you have as fifth driver with Lawson and Bortoletto taken already? Alonso, if you can afford him. But if you can't afford Alonso, it's Sainz. Pedro scores. Is that? Don't tell me that's Xiao Pedro, because I don't have him in my... It's Xiao Pedro who scored. I hate it here. I hate it here. FPL struggles continue. 300 people in chat, by the way, and only 125 of you have liked the stream. That is dreadful. We can definitely get 25 more likes and get to 150 likes. If you haven't liked the stream, make sure you do so. Otherwise, I get sad, and it's also the easy and cheap way to support the stream, because you just click a button and then forget about it. Let's be real. You don't look through your liked videos on YouTube anyway, so you might as well just like the stream, because it boosts us in the algorithm and all of that good stuff. It's the end of the summer break. Content was, you know, slow during the summer break, so I need some boost to get it back, you know? Get it back rolling. And if you have Twitch Prime, make sure you sub with Twitch Prime over on Twitch. It's by far the best way to support the stream, since I now have my Twitch monetized. Yay! Chris Wood cap. Yes, I do have Chris Wood cap this week. If it doesn't rain, do you still like Stroll over Liam? Yes. My FPL captain is Chris Wood. And that is crazy. I usually never do that, but I captain Chris Wood. West Ham look awful. All right, let's go. Let's see if there's more. Ooh, Kick Sauber. Thoughts? Sure, because it's triple McLaren. I would prefer Aston. Viability of Aston? A lot of viability. Loxolotl, thank you so much for the Prime subscription on Twitch. We are 8 out of 10 subscribers on Twitch, by the way. So if there's anyone with Amazon Prime, make sure you go over to Twitch. Link in the description. We're 2 away from reaching the goal of 10, which would be incredible. If we hit that, I think we like bump up a level or, you know, something. I don't know how Twitch works. You have more people watching, more likes than FanAmp. I don't compare myself. Let's be real. I love the FanAmp guys. FanAmp guys are great. Go show them some love. Go like the FanAmp stream if you haven't. They definitely deserve it. They're cool. You Captain Cunha, you are one brave man. Brave man. Are we really secure about Stroll? No. But are we secure about Norris? No. Primers unite. Oh, by the way, can anyone who just subbed with Prime let me know if you actually can get to the members chats on my Discord server, if you are there, and if that works, if you have your Discord and your Twitch linked. Because if not, I need to fix that. I think I did fix it though. You cannot. Okay, sick. Thanks for that. I'll. Okay, let me see if I can fix it. I can probably fix it like right now. Server settings. Roles. I think I have to fix it after the stream. I can't see the option right now. You can sync the Discord with Twitch. I have synced it with it. I just don't think I have given the role the correct thing. Manage member permission. Create role. Okay, I'll fix it. I'll fix it after the stream, but I apologize for that, guys. First time chatter. Haven't used my Prime for a long time, as I always watch on YouTube. It's yours, man. Thank you so much, Proven Failsafe. Thank you so much for the Prime subscription. That's 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. All right. Back to the actual things. Sorry for that little side move. Okay, we're 30 minutes left until the deadline, guys. I still haven't made my decision. Not sure which one is better. Would have to do wildcard into the Russell lineup though. You're on lower budget. 115.4 budget. Can do 3 transfers. Got it. Okay. How much budget are you actually using here? Current team: Piastri, Albon, McLaren, and Sauber. Yeah, I mean, I guess with 115 million, you're kind of forced into McLaren, Aston Martin, right? I think you should probably just run this. It looks pretty good. I think it looks better than this, though. Especially since you have the wildcard into the Russell lineup. Yeah, I would stick with the Aston Martin lineup and like look to go to the Russell lineup, or Piastri, McLaren, Mercedes with your wildcard when you have enough budget for it, because you can definitely get to it. VSAB 101, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime subscription. That's 10 out of 10. We hit the Prime sub goal. That's crazy. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the support. Greatly appreciated. I'm gonna fix all the Twitch stuff, so you guys got emotes and the members chat and all of that stuff. I will definitely make sure to fix that in the coming week. I will have a lot of time available. Apart from Monday, but like Tuesday onwards, I've almost infinite time, it feels like. Let's see. Well, we've reached the end of the submissions. Not much here. Uber with the gifted subs. Woo! Jesus! Thank you so much. That's 5 gifted subs. So if you weren't on Twitch already, now that's your sign to make sure to be there, because there are some generous people. Thank you so much for the gift subs. JC got one. HD Sarah got one. Blader got one. Safety Bus. Balls Deep Bobby got one. That's a great username. M Low subscribed with Prime as well. 16. Happy September. Happy September indeed. My god. 16 subs? That's crazy. That's crazy. I think a lot of the questions remaining on the team submissions are kind of the same. So let's go back to this. It only took you 6 months to fix YouTube member submissions. Hey, okay, you don't need to out me, okay? You don't need to out me. I thought it was. Okay, in my defense, I thought it was fixed that entire time, and it wasn't. So I think it's the same problem with the Twitch one, but now I know how to fix it. But I don't remember how to fix it, so I'm gonna actually outed. No, don't just see my submission and leave it. Okay, I'm sorry, Amar. The thing is, I think I've already discussed similar ones. I assume this is your current team, or are these options? Ooh, I guess it's interesting here because you're discussing, is it worth with Colapinto to get the triple? I just really like the look of Alonso this week. It greatly depends on what you do with your team. All options, I have wildcard. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, I would be very scared to go without Alonso this week. Alonso's so highly owned, and if he gets driver of the day, you kind of get boomed. Twitch is kicking YouTube's butt this week. Dodged. Deserve all the subs to go for real. Thank you so much, Mr. Low. Or M Low. Would you keep Albon versus Lawson? Yeah, I would keep Albon. Triple McLaren does look really good this week, but I suppose you can substitute it for this. I guess the question is like Russell, Stroll, Alonso versus Colapinto, Lawson, Norris. If Norris wins, I do think Norris' team outscores, but if Piastri wins, I do think this team scores more. Haluku, thank you so much for the Prime sub, man. 17 out of 10. I need to update the goal. Is it worth to swap Stroll to Alonso with -10? No. Never worth to do a sideways swap of the cheap assets. Scroll one above and check my team as well. You beats. I mean, you're literally on the same kind of team as me. So I think this team is really strong, and this is what I would go for. With the points potential, outweigh the -10 needed to get there. Likely another -10 in Monza. Okay, I guess assume you only have 2 free transfers then. Ah, that's tough. That's tough. I mean, I do think this could be worth the -10 for this week. When exactly should you use autopilot? Is it this week? Is this the week? I think you can use autopilot literally any week from now until the end of the season. Thoughts on Antonelli? I don't think he's consistent enough right now as an option. He's going to decrease in price again. And literally, he's the reason why I'm scared to use. He's the reason I'm scared to use Mercedes as a constructor. Best chip to use this weekend? I mean, probably autopilot, but I would prefer to not use any chip. Haluku, in triple McLaren build with wildcard, would you choose Lawson or Sainz? In triple McLaren build with wildcard, would you choose Lawson or Sainz? I would choose Sainz, I think. It also depends what your plan is after this week, because you might like be in a position where you want the cheapest assets available going forward. But like Sainz is so cheap anyway, so I think if I was on wildcard, I think I would take the risk with Sainz over Lawson. Will there be rain during the race? Maybe at the start of it, but it looks fine. I mean, literally, it's not going to rain all evening after 3. So there could be rain at the start of the race, but it's going to dry up likely. What to do with Ferrari? You could keep Ferrari. Ferrari's fine to keep, but I do think triple McLaren is stronger. Shout out, you got a gifted membership. Congrats, man. Yeah, that was from that was a while ago. I can't remember who did it. I'm so sorry. Vitor. Yeah. Congrats on the gifted membership, Colby. If you link your Discord on YouTube, you definitely have access to member chat for a month at least, so that's fun. Emlo, 120 million budget. Triple McLaren Aston, expecting 3.1 budget. Aston Pace has blessed me from everyone else going 4A. Yeah, I can imagine that. Sainz or Bortoletto? I prefer Bortoletto, I think. -10 or wildcard? Depends on what you're wildcarding into, because if you're wildcarding into the triple McLaren lineup, triple Saub, I would rather do the -10, I think. Triple McLaren worth it if it takes a -10. Again, it depends on what you want in the future. I think it's really, really difficult. Thoughts on Aston's FP3 pace, though? I mean, Aston's pace is not necessarily the problem. I still think Alonso's going to be fast enough to get Q3 at decent points. I think the main thing is just how dominant McLaren looks. So, like, the triple McLaren build is just that strong. And because there isn't, like, both Red Bulls, both Ferraris, both Mercedes taking up spots in the top 8, there are opportunities for, like, a P5 for someone like an Alonso. And, like, 15 pointers for the both of them. Which also devalues, like, Ferrari, Mercedes builds. Have you locked in the team with this week? No, I've not. I have 20 minutes to do so. We haven't even done tip of the week yet. Just joined. What's the best team for 120 million? Difficult to say. I would probably just look at the budget at the team calculator. For 121, it appears to be McLaren Aston. I mean, you could do this team. McLaren Aston, Norris, Piastri, Alonso, Bortoletto, Lawson. That's a really good team for 119.8. I think that's probably actually the best team for 120 million. Is this team. So Aston's FP3 pace is not an issue. Like, the thing is, McLaren are so good, and Hamilton's struggling, Antonelli's struggling, Tsunoda struggling, and even maybe Max Verstappen might not be guaranteed to occupy one of the top spots. It's really like Norris, Piastri, Russell, Leclerc, and then from there down, it's anyone's game, which is the reason why there's just so many more points to get for those premium midfield drivers like Aston Martin, like Williams, like Hulkenberg. Williams over Aston. I think Williams over Aston is a perfectly fine shout if you can afford it. I can't really do that. So let me double check again. I think I looked at a team that looked decent, but yeah, I need to take a -10 for it, I believe. Yeah, I can't do it without taking a -10, and at that point, why am I even doing it? You know, I might as well just go Aston. I don't think Aston and Williams is going to be that big of a difference. 119.8 team is my team. Join the party. There you go. Nice mustache, bro. Thanks, darling. It is very twirly today. It was actually cooperated. I did it in like a minute and a half. Sainz or Stroll? I think I prefer Stroll. Yeah, probably Stroll. But it depends on the budget as well, and like what you want to do in the future. There's so many permutations of what happens going forward. Like, I think Sainz is better if you're thinking like the next 5 races, just because of his price points, and it's much easier to afford a 4A lineup with him. Stroll is not guaranteed a 0.6 increase. Like, not at all. Stroll is at... He needs 13 points to increase 0.6. Oh, Stroll or one of the 4.5 guaranteed 0.6 increase is better. I mean, Stroll is obviously better for points, I think. But I think Bortoletta's safer. Right, Bortoletta and Loss are infinitely more safe. Hulk or Stroll, Hulk or Sainz. Sainz, Stroll. I don't particularly love Hulkenberg this race. 1, he's not great for budgets. 2, a lot of people are selling him anyway. 3, I mean, he could of course pop up with a P7 and shut me up, but tip of the that's the funnest. Oh yeah, we need to do tip of the week. 20 minutes until the deadline, and I still have not decided what to do. Okay, it's tip of the week time. Oh. Just locked in a triple McLaren, triple Aston with Bortoletta. Let's see how the dice roll. Good luck. Tip of the week, McLaren or bust. That's a good tip. Okay. So, if it's your first time here, welcome to the stream. If you haven't already liked the stream, subscribe to the channel on YouTube. Make sure you do so. If you're on the Twitch side, make sure you follow the channel. Subscribe with Twitch Prime if you have it available. If you don't use your Twitch Prime, it's going to run out. Like, it's literally free. It's a free subscription to me if you already are subscribed with Amazon Prime. Literally no reason not to use it. You're taking money from the pockets of Jeff Bezos and giving it to me. So, and you get some cool features for it once I add those features in the coming week or two. But it's by far the best way to support stream. So if you want to steal some money from Jeff Bezos and give it to me, that would be greatly appreciated. If you haven't been here before, each week on the deadline stream, we do tip of the week. It is the segment of the stream. And I'm never wrong, apart from that one time where I said Gasly was a good pick. But we don't need to talk about that. Actually, I've been wrong more than once. But it's a general tip that should work for a lot of people. And it's the #1 tip of the week. That's why it is Rain Fantasy #1 tip of the week. Give me your guesses. 2x Norris or Oscar? If you have both, you 2x Norris. We don't speak about Gasly. Week or 2, really? Shh. Go with your gut. You're getting better at writing? I feel like it's like a 6 out of 10 today. Triple McLaren, tip of the week, use Aston. I mean, the honest tip of the week is I have no idea what tip of the week is, but we don't, you know, we can actually... the Gasly incident. Aston Martin is the way. It's a good tip. Fraser's on a mission to outrain. I know. Tip of the week is triple McLaren. Tip of the week is going to be spin the wheel. Tip of the week, avoid Manchester United players. Your guys tips are really funny, actually. McLaren to the moon. No, okay, so tip of the week is actually... It's so boring, but like... It's okay, it's super boring. But this is the tip. And that is to... Okay, I know memeing is more fun, but the actual tip of the week is to consider Monza and beyond. Right? It's super tempting to just rush headfirst into a full rebuild of your team when we don't know what's going to happen going forward. And I know I'm also in that spot, but I very much, like, even if I were to go and uproot my team for triple McLaren, triple Aston, I know how to get out of that. I know it involves a -10, and I'm okay with that, right? I think if you make transfers this week, you buy in Norris, wanting to 2x him because he looks good, and then suddenly you're sitting there and you're 2 million short of getting, you know, the team you want for the week after. You build a team, right? Say you build a team like we've just discussed, which is also why I'm getting Bortoletto, right, on this team. Because I think I've locked in the triple. Say you lock in this team, but you're being a bit cheeky, which I also want to do this. I think Sainz looks like a great pick this week. Sainz DNFs. And then we get to Monza and Ferrari look really fast. What do you do? Like what do you actually do? You're uprooting your entire team with a -20? Again, if you have wildcard, you can just do whatever you want, which I think, like, if you have your wildcard, the actual tip of the week for you with the wildcard is, like, don't use it now. Do whatever you want. Not, like, if you have wildcard, okay, actually, hold on, let me, if you have wildcard remaining, your tip of the week is do something fun and then wildcard in Monza. Like, that's actually the tip of the week, but if I were to do this, which I can do, by the way, and I'm very tempted to get Gasly, because, not Gasly, Sainz, because I think Sainz, I've wanted Sainz this entire year. He started at 12 million, he's now down to 6, right? I've wanted Sainz for the longest time. I think he's going to come good. I think, if Sainz DNFs here, I actually have to take a -20. Like, I have to take a -20 if I then want Ferrari, because I would have to sell Sainz. What if Lance Stroll DNFs? Sure, I mean, that sucks because I have Aston Martin and this. But, like, I'm selling a lot of things here. Like, so, which is why I'm considering the future. The tip of the week is to, like, actually look into more than just this one race. While this one race, you should of course look what looks the best for it, but you should still have a plan for what you do in the future. Penalty for Chelsea. Let me know if João Pedro's taking it, because if he's taking it, I'm fuming. Tip of the week is trust. I mean, tip of the week could be trust Papaya every week, if I'm honest. Even for 100 million, Tool thinks McLaren Aston is best. Not surprised. So that's the reason why in my lineup where I do this, I'm getting Bortoletto, because if Bortoletto DNFs, sure, that sucks for me, but I'm super down with keeping Bortoletto literally to the end of the season. I don't need to transfer him out. So I'm getting the team that looks strong, but with the insurance of Bortoletto. So say I want to get Ferrari back next week because Ferrari look good in Monza, which I wouldn't be surprised if they do, because they want to look good in Monza, right? I have a super easy way back. I just do this, and I can get literally any driver here. I could even stretch as far as an Alex Albon, or even... I can't go Kimi Antonelli, but, like, it's close that I could afford a Kimi Antonelli here. Or I could just lock in Isaac Hadjar next week, who's going to cost 4.5 million, and suddenly I'm one transfer away and can take a -10 if I want to you know, get the good stuff. Xiao is doing well in FPL right now. I know, and I don't have him. It sucks. So I think with 11 minutes left to go, would sub Sainz in for Lawson. I think Sainz over Lawson is a fine pick. It's just like you have to look a bit further to consider whether that's the best move for you or not. Okay, I think I've decided, though. I think I've been persuaded into this. McLaren look too strong. Okay, I'm gonna do this order just because I want the pricier asset above, but I do like the, like, little, you know, the 50-50, half and half sort of vibe. VR check and play, okay. Hulk or Stroll? I prefer Stroll. Don't blame me if it goes pear-shaped. I was considering this before you said it, but I mean, you've definitely been... I'm going to blame you 100% if this goes... If Stroll DNFs, I'm blaming you. 345 people in chat, 183 likes. There's definitely 17 of you who haven't liked the stream on YouTube. Make sure you do so. We're going a bit bananas today. This is the team. Using all 3 transfers. Knowing full well this might cost me a -10 in the future. if I don't want to keep this around. Bortoleto there, both for budgets, but also as an insurance in case there are DNFs and I need to deal with things in the team. I don't have a wildcard to wildcard out of this. I'm just hoping this this goes my way. 2x on... 2x on Norris. Yeah. You're 100% right. I almost forgot. Thanks, chat. There you go. My 2x is on Norris. My 2x is on Norris. If you have both Norris and Piastri, because Piastri is so much higher owned, you should always put the 2x on Norris. Also, Norris just looks good, right? Is a minus 20 worth it for this team? No, I don't think so. I'm assuming you previously had something like Piastri plus Ferrari, right? Piastri, McLaren, Ferrari. That team looks to score, like according to the simulations, about 20 points less. No 3x? No. I'm not using 3x because it's not a sprint weekend. I mean, Norris and Piastri are going to score more points in a sprint weekend when there's more points to get. So I'm definitely using the 3x in a sprint weekend. Alright. You have 9 minutes to lock in your team. I'm going to lock in it now. 4 changes. DRS boost going to Norris. Ferrari out for Aston Martin. What about autopilot? Autopilot is fine. You can use autopilot today, or you can use autopilot in literally any race to the end of the season. I'm just not going to use it because it's fine. Enzo's taking the pen. Love to see it. Autopilot. You can use autopilot if you want. I'm not using autopilot because I think Norris versus Piastri, like it's same. And you can always just use it. I think I'm going to use it in the sprint weekend where I have double McLaren again, because if one DNFs in one of the races, that's better. Isn't 3x about differential but just plain points? Yeah, 3x is, in my opinion, 3x is more about plain points. Just straight up plain points, and that's going to be more in a sprint weekend for the guys. Would you go kick over AM if limited budget? I would consider it, but I would be more inclined to keep. I would assume if you're on lower budgets... Again, if you're on lower budget, you should definitely watch my latest video on my YouTube channel. It talks all about how I think you should play the game if you're on a lower budget, if you're trying to beat some mini-league rivals above you. It didn't really show up in the algorithm. That's fine, I understand that. But if you want some... that talks about... Okay, I should confirm this so I don't miss the deadline. Also, I have transfers here. I should do something... It doesn't matter at all. This team doesn't have any budget, so it's kind of whatever. Alright. What's lower budget? I'm 128 million at the moment. You're above it, way above average, Austin. Lower budget is 120 million and below. F1 is back. Why Hulk? I don't have Hulk. I sold Hulk. That was just my other team that previously had Hulk, and I sell him now. I just hadn't made my transfers there. Bortoleto or Lawson? I prefer Bortoleto. Right, going to watch Quali Class Team. Good luck, everyone. Oh, by the way, if you want to watch Quali with me, I'm going to do the watch-along over exclusively on Twitch. So, if you're on YouTube and you want to watch the Quali with me, top of the description is the link over to the Twitch side. In 7 minutes, I'm going to log off of the YouTube and just be on Twitch for the watch-along. Stroll or Lawson? I prefer Stroll. But it also, again, tip of the week... It depends on, like, consider Monza and beyond. Like, consider what do you want in the future. If you have Lawson over someone like a Stroll, does that make it easier for you to switch something out in the future? And if so, I prefer Lawson for you. Just straight up on points, and for this week, I prefer Stroll. But long term, I prefer Lawson. So it's it very much depends on what your team looks like beyond. How are you getting to the teams you want in the future? How many transfers do you have? It's very much one of those weekends. If you have your wild card, I mean, literally go bananas, do whatever you want, and use the wild card in 1 or 2 races time. No autopilot for me. I'm gonna save my autopilot. Again, autopilot is by far the weakest chip in the game because 50% of the time, usually 50% of the time, like, it doesn't do anything, right? Because you usually have 2 premium drivers, and you predict one of them to outscore the other, and usually that one is better than the other one because that's why you picked that one, right? So. Autopilot 50% of the time doesn't even do anything, so you can use it in literally any race. And if you sometimes you get lucky and it's in the exact correct race when you're 2x DNF'd. I've not had my 2x DNF so far this year, so I think it's autopilot. You can use at any point. There's no like optimal way to use it. I think it's slightly more optimal. That's wrong. I think it's slightly more optimal to use it in a sprint weekend because technically there's 2 races or 2 starts where your 2x that you had picked could DNF in. So I do think it's technically optimal to play it when you have 2 premium drivers in a sprint weekend. Larson or Sainz for +6. I mean, both are probably increasing points. I mean, Sainz needs 10 points to increase 0.6. Alright, let me tweet out the finalized team. There we go. Any final questions? You have 4 minutes until the deadline. Any final questions? Let's see. Why did you want Stroll over Lawson? I think Stroll looks better for points this week. I trust him more if it rains. I haven't seen that much from VCarb to see that they look fantastic this week. 2x Norris or Piastri? Always 2x Norris if you have both. The reason for this, I'll not go through it too much because we only have 3 minutes, but if you look at the elite data, you can look at the top, and I think this extends throughout the top 10k as well. Piastri is owned by 99% of people in the top 500. So literally everyone has Piastri. Not that many people have Norris. So if you 2x Norris, you have a much greater upside, and I don't think the downside is that big. You know. How is Aston Martin for budget? I mean, Aston Martin looks good. All the constructors look great for budget, as always, because the thing is bad. I mean, Haas and Williams don't look good, but Aston Martin can have 1 DNF and still increase the maximum. Just hit 199th like. There we go, right? Do we have 500 likes yet? 500. 200 likes yet? Oh, we hit 200 likes. Good job, guys. 2 minutes until the deadline. What else do we have? More questions, more questions. Nothing on Twitch. Should I use Stroll or Lawson with a -10? No. Save your transfers. Never use a -10 to swap cheap assets around. That's never worth it. Sainz or Lawson? I prefer Sainz slightly. Who to pick up for 10.4 million? That's not Alonso or Stroll. I would actually like say that Sainz, Bortoleto, and Lawson are the best picks. So pick someone cheap. Pick someone cheap. That it will help you in the future as well. Is it a good idea to keep Lawson instead of bringing in Bortoleto? Yes. I mean, don't switch Lawson to Bortoleto. If you're buying one of them, I would prefer to buy Bortoleto. But like, in terms of the both of them, if you already have Lawson, just keep Lawson. It's fine. Stroll or Hulk? I prefer Stroll this week. Aston Martin looks decent. Thank you for the questions. All right, so if you are on YouTube, top of the description is a link to my Twitch, which is where I'll do the watch along. So if you want to watch the quali with me, that's only on Twitch because YouTube hates it when you stay live and people leave the stream. And I understand that you leave the stream to go watch quali, but if you want to watch it with me, that's over on the Twitch. Yes, so quali watch along is on the Twitch. So we're gonna move over there. Thank you so much for this deadline stream. It's been fantastic. It's been a great time as always. Thank you so much for the support, for the gifted subs, for the gifted subs on Twitch, for the gifted followers. No, the gifted memberships. That's the word for it on YouTube. We'll be back with content. The I'm very busy on Monday, so I hope that they come out with the points quickly on Sunday after the race, because then you'll have the team submission out Sunday evening. I'm very busy on Monday, so if they're late with the points, then the team submissions video is going to come out on Tuesday. And then I'm going to spend the rest of the week setting up stuff for Twitch, because I think from like... I'm gonna be working very little over September, probably like less than 50%. So I'm gonna have a lot of time, so we're gonna do more Twitch stuff for sure. So good luck, everyone. Happy qualifying. And I'm gonna end stream on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. Twitch, stick around. We're not going anywhere.